What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to review My Hero Academia, Episode 2. I don't have much to say about this episode, but I do kind of have quite a bit to say about the series itself. This episode, I guess the technicals, pacing was good. I guess it was a touch slow, especially for a seasonal anime. I thought it was like a touch slow in terms of pacing. I really do think this whole chapter could have been done in one episode. It would have been pretty fast-paced, but it still would have established more. I think it would have been a really solid, really impactful first episode. But as 2 episodes, it's still good. Maybe they should have been aired at the same time, but I know Japan never does that. So, yeah, it was good. This was definitely a lot better than the first episode. It was a good follow-up. So yeah, the pacing, the animation, on point. It was good. Trying to think, a couple of standout moments were the action scenes, of course, and seeing Deku run towards the big sludge monster that had the bully character trapped. Forgetting his name, I know it starts with a K. It's like Katsuki or something. But yeah, the animation game was good. The animation game was on point. And yeah, so story progression. So I talked about pacing, I talked about animation, the music was good, and then the story progression. We finish up pretty much everything that started in the first episode, all that gets wrapped up, so that's pretty solid story progression there. So all that stuff is good. The content of the episode itself, I think my biggest issue with the series and why I think it's just okay, and maybe I went into this a little bit in the previous, in my previous review with the first episode, I feel like everything I've seen in this series so far, and even in the manga to a certain extent, it's just cliches, you know, just cliches, like cowardly main character who wants to be a hero. That's a cliche I've seen before. You know, you have the bully character who's like a former childhood friend turned into an asshole. I've seen that before. The superhero fucking mentor that tells the character, you know, this isn't all fun and games, or, you know, this is like very serious, we risk our lives, and he shows his injury he got, and it's like, it's not just like, oh, being a hero is super cool. I have a smile on my face, you know, it's fucking all serious. I've seen that a million times before. If you've seen the preview for the next episode, you pretty much know what's going to happen. If you haven't, kind of a spoiler, but not really, because it's going to be his power for the entire series. Deku's going to get All Might's super strength. The most generic, the most cliche superpower for the main character to have. It's just, like, everything in this series is so cliche and so paint by numbers, and I'm not going to say it's not doing them terribly, like, because I know there's cliches in everything, so you got to pick and choose which ones you want to use, which ones are, you know, really good, which ones do fans really want to see, and then which ones are kind of too tired and kind of just don't need to be repeated over and over, and that's pretty subjective. And I do think the series, from an objective standpoint, is well told, and it is good. I just think that those cliches are kind of what, for me, make me say, you know, objectively, it's a good series. I did enjoy this episode. Animation game, like I said, on point. The conversation they had, you know, tying in what All Might said, that you can be a hero, with what he wanted his mom to say when he was young. You know, sunset game, on point. All that stuff was really, really good. And I think it's just those cliches that make me kind of say, you know what, overall I just think this series is okay. It's not breaking any ground, it's not doing anything super different or super unique other than its art style, so it's okay. It's kind of like Yu Yu Hakusho for me. Yu Yu Hakusho is a good series, for sure. It's like I said in my final review for it, it's a good series. It's a standard, you know, battle action shonen series, but it does what it does really well. And that's why I consider it a good series. And I feel like My Hero Academia is going to be the same for me, unless it does get like crazy good later on, which is totally possible. But I've seen a lot of hype for the series, so I hope that hype pays off, and I hope that it is really, really good. But I'm going to try not to let the hype get to me too much. But overall, I'd give this episode a solid like 8 out of 10. I know I didn't talk too much about the contents of the episode itself, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, not a lot really happened. All Might reveals that he's scrawny because of an injury he took. You know, I'll mention this, I do like that Deku inspires All Might when he runs out there to save his former friend. And yeah, it was just really cool. So, yeah, again, I didn't talk too much about the contents of the episode itself, but I pretty much said everything I want to say. It was a good episode. I'd give it a solid 7.5 to an 8. It was good, so maybe like an 8, or no, I'm serious, I'm sorry, like a 7.8. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So what did you guys think of this My Hero Academia episode? You can tell me in the comment section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. You can just give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both of those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.